Today, we have the Texas runoffs on May 26th. So the big one between Senator John Cornyn, Attorney General Ken Paxton, to determine the Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate. This one has been tight all year, and interesting patterns as we head into the election. Paxton has taken a bigger lead in the polls, but remember he had the polling lead in the primary as well, and the pollsters missed it. So I'm not sure how much that's going to matter headed into tonight. Paxton has a pretty substantial lead in the polling, but in the primary, we had 6 polls right at the end of that primary season, and Paxton was ahead by an average of 7 points, yet Cornyn came in a point ahead of him when the actual votes were cast. If you look at the early vote numbers right now, in terms of what votes have been cast, all of the areas that Cornyn performed well in the primary, which is basically the cities, have all turned out higher so far in the early vote than did the areas where Paxton did extremely well in the rural areas. So where the polling may favor Paxton, the early vote trend appears to favor Senator Cornyn. So we will see what happens tonight. It should be close. It's going to be real interesting. 2 other races of note, and there are 17 runoffs that will be decided today, 1 for the Senate and 16 for the U.S. House. But 2 really stand above the rest, and that is the pairing of the 2 Democratic incumbents in Houston, longtime Congressman Al Green, and Christian Menefee, who won the special election to replace the late Sylvester Turner back in November. So the 2 of them are squaring off for the new 18th district. And today is really the election day. Whichever wins this primary tonight will be the winner of the general election in November. So this is another one of these races we're seeing around the country. About a dozen of them in Democratic primaries where younger candidates are challenging the longtime older veteran. Al Green is 78 years old. And now in this situation, we have member versus member. Menefee came in ahead of Green in the primary by just a little over a percentage point. So this one's going to be really close as well tonight. That's the 18th district in Houston, Texas. Then we move up to the Dallas Metroplex, so we have another interesting runoff that will be decided tonight, again for the seat, because this is another safely Democratic seat, in this one fully contained within Dallas County. And it features Congresswoman Julie Johnson. She is a freshman. Her 32nd district was converted to a Republican seat in the redistricting, so she is running in this new 33rd district. Former Congressman Colin Allred, who was a Democratic nominee for U.S. Senate in 2024 and lost to Ted Cruz. He was going to run for the Senate again, but at the last minute before filing, he decided to file here in the 33rd Congressional District. He came in about 10 points ahead of Julie Johnson in that primary. So we will see what happens tonight. So it's Congresswoman Julie Johnson versus former Congressman Colin Allred. The winner will take the seat in November.